Third question is sending by Arnold.
Hey Arnold.
Who's beside you is your favorite king of all wrestling?
Oh, my favorite king? Oh, yeah, you're right. There's been a lot of them. Um, Gosh, if I go all the way back, I mean, probably the first guy that I saw being the king was Ernie Ladd a long, long time ago. And then there was another guy. You know what? I guess, and a lot of fans may not even remember these guys, but I would have to say I loved Owen Hart when he won the King of the Ring. Bret Hart, of course, I was not too crazy about him as a king. That's why I destroyed his crown and it messed up his coronation. Um, King Corbin, yeah, not he's not too high on my list. But I would have to go all the way back to the king, the guy that was wrestling as a king back in the 70s when I met him down in Atlanta, Georgia. And after seeing he loaned me his crown and he loaned me his robe to wear back, to take back and wear on Memphis TV. And that's how I became the king of Memphis. This guy was named Bobby Shane, King Bobby Shane. And after he loaned me his crown, he went on a tour of Australia and he said, here, until you can order your own, you use mine and I'll get it back from you when I get back from Australia. And ironically, when Bobby got back from Australia, the first week he was back, he was killed in a plane crash. And so I was left with this crown and the robe, and I've been the king ever since. So he would have to go down in history as my personal favorite king.
Okay, wow. Very interesting. The next question is sent in by Jeroen. Of course, you've been a phenomenal wrestler in the Memphis territory, and you've been a legend ever since. But there came a point in time that you switched from wrestler to commentator. Was that transition hard for you, or was it? How did you experience it?
Well, no, it wasn't. It wasn't difficult at all, and it just happened. I guess probably if I'd sat around and thought about it, and it had happened over a period of time, it might have been more difficult. But the way it happened was we were back in the Monday Night Wars, and I was just there. I was there in the WWE as a wrestler. And the commentators was Vince McMahon was doing the play-by-play, and Macho Man Randy Savage was doing the color commentary. And so I'll never forget, we were doing Raw one night up in the Pocono Mountains, and the WCW, their show came on an hour before ours at that time. We were both live, and so we were getting ready to start our show. And Vince McMahon, I'll never forget, he's walking around the dressing room. He said, anybody seen Randy Savage? I want to go over what we're going to do on the opening of the show. And nobody had seen him. And then all of a sudden somebody said, oh, Vince, you might want to come over here and look at the TV. Went down, looked at the TV, and there on WCW was Randy Savage. Oh, yeah. He made the switch. He jumped over without telling anybody. And so all of a sudden, just that quickly, Vince I'll never forget, he didn't even show any emotion on his face at all, but he just looked around and he said, hey, King, do you mind doing color commentary with me tonight? And by next week, I'll have somebody to do it on a regular basis. And so I thought it was going to be a one-night thing, and it's lasted for 30 years.
Wow, and he did an amazing job, by the way. Fantastic.
You know what? I think the secret to that is don't overthink it. I just go out there and wing it. I don't do any preparation. That was the great thing about good old JR and working with Michael Cole. These guys were so prepared and knew all the statistics and knew all the moves and knew everything about the different individual superstars that I didn't have to. I could just really go out there and have a good time and have fun with it. And I always looked at it as like I'm sitting next to my best friend in my couch at home watching a wrestling show and we're talking about it. That's the way I always approached it.